What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon MLB DFS video. It is July 25th. It is Tuesday, and we are back bringing you a slate breakdown. If this is the first time you've been here, welcome. Hopefully you guys learned something. If you do, hit that like button. Anytime a video gets 50 likes and you leave a positive comment and are a subscriber, we use YouTube Random Comment Picker. And one lucky person will win a free week of MLB DFS content. Anytime a video gets 100 likes, we do the exact same thing. You win a free month. And anytime a video gets 125 likes, you will win the rest of the MLB season absolutely free. And that's what we do at the beginning. So let's pick the winner. We did it. Currently 34 unique comments, so we're going to spin this one time, and that will be the winner of the free week of content. And congratulations to Ricky Ziegler. I believe your name, you may have been here a couple of times. I don't think you've been here long, but congratulations. All you got to do, like this comment, let me know you see it, and then two ways. Either email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com, that's dfshelp1@gmail.com, or hit us up on Twitter at advisors_team. Congratulations again, Ricky Ziegler. So, what I'm very upset about is I just spent 46 minutes making this video, and the sound wasn't working at all. 46 minutes of my life that I can't get back. I debated not doing this video because I just spent that much time. I tested it. The video sound worked on the test run. Then I started it, and it didn't work. So not very happy. So if I rush through it, I'm going to hit all the key points. I've already read everything, basically. So we're going to go through it. But, I'm going to read that. We're going to go through there. So good news, though. Anyone who is part of FTA Plus, FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, FTA Plus, go to your user account. It's on the membership's account page. So go sign into FTA Plus, scroll down to My Account, click on Edit Profile, and then you should see a button that says Connect My Discord, or my Discord name, and you will be redirected into our FTA Plus Discord. It is up and running right now. A few people did find it early, so if you are part of FTA Plus, go check that out. Anyone who's part of a month, anyone who's won the free week, the month, the year pass, or the lifetime subscribers all have access to it. So definitely go check that out. If you want to get into it, all you got to do, either FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, FTA Plus, do a month subscription. $24.99 gets you 1 month of this DFS and sports betting for any sport that's currently that we have. We are looking into possibly looking at NASCAR and MMA. Haven't decided yet, but we are definitely digging in to some numbers and analytics there if there's enough interest. And currently, if you do the FTA Plus and you hit the yearly pass, it's normally $199. If you use the promo code NFLVIP, you're going to get $100 off and get a year pass for $99. That will be 1 year for every sport we offer. That being said, here we've got 3 early games for whatever reason, and then the main slate. So we're going to look at that. So the early slate is the Dodgers at Detroit, Miami at Tampa Bay, and Baltimore at Philly. Now, Philly does have a little bit of weather concern, so we definitely check this out. But what I'll tell you is if you are part of FTA Plus, on the cheat sheet we have a weather tab, and we update that to let you know if it's good matchup for weather, wind, any delays, and if it's a good for pitching or hitting in that matchup. So definitely check that out. And if there is any weather concerns, and we will look into it, and we will utilize the Discord to give you guys updates and stuff like that. And I'm still working on bots to give us breaking news for NBA or MLB, NFL, home runs, stuff like that. So touchdowns, we are looking at bots. I'll get that in there. I just wanted to get this Discord up and running. I'm about 2 weeks behind on it, so I do apologize. So looking at this, we can see LA at Detroit. You got Griffin Canning versus Eduardo Rodriguez. The trade deadline is next week, so this is something to monitor because it's 1 week away, And we've already started to see a couple of trades. So this is something to pay attention to. Erod could be in line to get traded. That is an option. So that is something to pay attention to. So let's just dig in right here. I don't know how much exposure I'll be having to this game, but looking at Griffin Canning, he came off a fantastic game, obviously, against the Yankees. In only 5.2 innings, had 12 strikeouts, 27.4 fantasy points at 8,200, and he's dropped 900 for whatever reason. Has a fantastic matchup against Detroit. Hasn't faced them this year. On the road, 4.25, so his ERA is better on the road than it is at home. All things point to good with Griffin Canning. So I will have exposure to Griffin Canning. Erod here hasn't faced the Angels this year. 6-5 record, 2.69 ERA. Game log coming off 2 really good games here against Kansas City and Seattle. Now he gets a game against LA, who he hasn't faced. At home, he's got a 2.70 ERA, on the road 2.68. So his ERA and on the road and home basically identical. Less earned runs at home, more home runs, less walks, little less strikeouts. So I do like Erod here. I think in order, I would like Canning, Erod, or Canning, Glasnow, Erod, and probably avoid the rest of them. So looking at this Miami at Tampa Bay, you've got Cabrera versus Glasnow. Cabrera, I'm not using him. He did okay against St. Louis, but the problem is here, 5 innings, 4 innings, 5 innings, 6. It's been a while since he's got there. His splits away and home, away, it's almost 6. It's more than double what he is, his ERA at home, and he's facing Tampa Bay at home. So yeah, I would stack Tampa Bay. I'm not looking at Edward Cabrera at all. And then Glasnow here, I'm not really sure why it shows him as a relief pitcher, but looking at this 3-3 record, 3.62 ERA, really good games. I mean, he's had some fantastic games lately. 5 straight fantastic games. I mean, 2 of them were against Kansas City. 1 was against Seattle. 1 was against Baltimore. But looking at this, his splits, hasn't faced Miami this year. Home games, 3.9 ERA, so he's a little bit worse at home, but I would rather take Glasnow over Cabrera there. Bats-wise, it really just depends. Tampa Bay bats. Kind of got to wait for the Vegas numbers to come out, the weather to come out, everything like that to really hone in on the bats that we like. But that is why we have BVP on the website. That is why we have Vegas numbers, ballpark ratings, cheat sheet. I mean, that is where our bats come into play there. So I'm probably not going to be playing this early slate. But next one is Kyle Gibson versus Taijuan Walker. But there is weather concern. So I'm probably not using these 2 pitchers. Gibson hasn't faced Philly this year. On the road, 4.23 ERA. Home, 5.55. So still a very high ERA out of him. Not even 100 strikeouts yet. An okay game against Tampa Bay, 3 earned runs, 8 strikeouts. But then against Miami, 5.1 innings, 1 strikeout, 5 earned runs. I don't like that. I would probably stack Philly. We just kind of got to wait to see what's going to go on there. Weather is a concern, so kind of wait till closer to game time to see how the weather is, if it's going to actually affect the game, and if it is, probably going to have to steer clear of this game altogether. And again, I'm not playing the early slate. So if you guys do, those are kind of my thoughts on the pitchers on the early slate. Then we jump into the main slate here. Rockies at the Nationals, Austin Gomber versus Trevor Williams. Gomber, it's usually we've been stacking against him. Looking at him, he's pretty far down here. 6,200 game log, 6 innings. He's going deep into games. Those aren't bad numbers here. It's at Washington, but he's given up runs. 4 earned runs against Houston, 2 against the Yankees, 2 against San Francisco, 2 against Detroit, 2 against LA. He has faced Washington 1 time. 4.2 innings, 5 earned runs in that game. I'm probably stacking against Gomber here. Probably looking at Candelario, C.J. Abrams, Lane Thomas, probably steering clear of Gomber. And then Trevor Williams against Colorado, 6,000. not a good game against the Cubs. Comes in 5-5 record, 4.38 ERA. Splits, he has faced Colorado once, 5.1 innings, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts. Not a lot of strikeouts. Not enough for me to want to pay for him. Maybe very contrarian tournament option, okay. But, yeah, this is just a game where, like, the bats don't intrigue me outside of the 3 Nats bats here. And then no Colorado right now. So probably avoiding this game altogether. Mets at the Yankees, you got Verlander versus Domingo Germán. Verlander has had the Yankees numbers in the past. Looking at this, he faced them back on... When did he face them? June 14th. In that game, he went 6 innings, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts, 1.50 ERA. So pretty good. But if you look at his splits, home and away. Now, whether or not, it's the same city, so whether or not you want to go with that, away, double the ERA when he's on the road. It's in New York, so there could be a lot of New York fans here, like Mets fans. But there's going to be a lot of ruthless Yankees fans as well. So looking at this, I don't think I want Verlander. I don't think I want to pay up at 9,100. And then he is going up against Domingo Germán. So Domingo Germán has had their number in the past, 79 plate appearances, 243. Looking at this, we know he had a perfect game this year. Hasn't faced the Mets this year. 409 at home, 498 on the road. So he is better at home. The Mets have struggled. I will take a little bit of exposure to Domingo Germán today. So I will definitely look at Germán. I don't think I want Verlander at all. Maybe throw Verlander in tournament because the Yankees can strike out. But they're coming off a sweep against the mighty Royals. Judge could be back soon. We're just kind of waiting to hear the news on that. So looking at that, I'm probably... Domingo Germán's they're probably both only tournament options for me. I think I'm a little bit more heavy on Germán than I am Verlander, though. And then again, bats that, might interest me, the Yankees bats, depending on where he is. If Jake Bauers plays, Harrison Bader, Rizzo, Stanton if he's on the outfield. Did have a home run DH in the other day, but and Rizzo had a really good game, 4 for 4. And I didn't say it in Sunday's video, but I had an inkling. It was just a gut. And this is what I say. If you have a gut feeling for a player or a prop bet, take it. My gut feeling for Sunday was Anthony Rizzo to hit a home run. And he did. And it was his first home run in over 2 months, which is nuts. So if you have a gut feeling, go with that gut feeling is all I can really tell you. Next game, Royals at the Guardians, Greinke versus Savali. Savali is one of my favorite pitchers on this slate. Anytime we take a pitcher against the Royals, I love that. I don't trust Greinke. He's not going deep into games. He's not really striking out a ton of people. I'm stacking against him. So I'm looking at Guardians against Greinke, and I'm looking at Savali here. So depending on what batters, Steven Kwan, Jose Ramirez, Josh Naylor, possibly Bo Naylor there, Andres Jimenez, all against Greinke. I do not trust him. I am all in on Aaron Savali. Looking at Savali here, I believe he'd faced them recently. He's faced them one time, 7 innings pitched, 9 strikeouts in that game. I believe that was in Cleveland too. No, that was in it was at home just 4 starts ago against Kansas City. I'm all in on Aaron Savali here, dominating the Royals, and I want nothing to do with Greinke. Braves at the Red Sox, Charlie Morton versus to be announced. Morton, 129 plate appearances, 267. I think he's only going to be a tournament option for me because Fenway, how many runs Fenway gives up. Looking at this, he's faced Boston one time this year, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 7 strikeouts. Looking at his splits, away games, 287. So he is better on the road, but I am a little bit concerned with how Fenway plays and how the ball flies out of there, how many runs has been scored in this stadium this year. Looking at that, I believe it's Nick Pivetta in this one. So I think it'll be Nick Pivetta. I think I'm going to be... but the problem is he did pitch on Saturday. So this is something to monitor. They're showing Pivetta. I'm going to go with this video on the instinct that it is Pivetta for whatever reason. Maybe it's a spot start. Maybe it's not. But I'm still stacking the Braves here. So I'm looking at Freddie Freeman. I'm looking at Ronald Acuna, Matt Olson, Michael Harris, Austin Riley, whichever catcher's there, either Darno or Murphy. I will take a Brave stack against Nick Pivetta here. Charlie Morton for tournaments, no Pivetta, and the Braves as a stack. Mariners at the Twins, you got George Kirby versus Pablo Lopez. Both of these dudes just faced each other their last start. Kirby against Minnesota, his last start, 7 innings, 10 strikeouts, 36.8 fantasy points. That was at home, though. His splits, he's actually better on the road. So I don't mind George Kirby in this situation. As long as the weather's good, I don't mind him. And then we look at Pablo Lopez. For whatever reason, he's the most expensive pitcher on the slate, which is kind of crazy. Looking at his splits, his game like he just faced Seattle's last start. 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 7 strikeouts, 16.5, but they lost 5-0. Home games, he's worse at home. So this feels like a trap to me. I feel like taking the Mariners against Pablo Lopez, and I feel like taking George Kirby against Minnesota, kind of flip-flopping it. The price would tell you, hey, he's a good option. Worse at home, highest priced pitcher on the slate. I think it's a complete fade for Pablo Lopez. I am looking 100% at Kirby over Lopez and some of the Mariners' bats, just depending on the lineup that comes out. Teoscar Hernandez, Julio, obviously, Eugenio Suarez, maybe Cal Raleigh. It just depends on what the lineup is actually out there. So I think it's a complete fade for me, at least on DraftKings anyway. I don't know what his price is on FanDuel, but at $10,400 on DraftKings, I'm out on Lopez. Rangers at the Astros as of now, to be announced versus JP France. I believe JP France, let's see. He's never faced them before. Coming off a really good game against Oakland, but that's Oakland. Looking at splits, home games, 491. For whatever reason, he's worse at home. I think I might avoid this. I know the Rangers are without their best hitter, Corey Seager, but they still have Jonah Heim. They still have Marcus Semien. They have really good guys on this team that can hit. Not only power, but extra base hits. I think he's expensive. I think I'm off on the JP France train here. And then Texas, is there anyone here? Bradford for Texas. But he's an opener, and then we don't really know what we're going to get because he's getting, 1 inning, 3 innings. Hasn't had 5 innings in 3 weeks. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. Probably stacking this game completely. Want nothing to do with pitching. We'll look at stack. I wouldn't be surprised if the over-under is like 9.5 on this one. Cubs at the White Sox, Kyle Hendricks versus Michael Kopech. Kyle Hendricks, he's not sexy, guys. He doesn't... I can't explain. Like 17 points. He had a good game against Washington. 6 innings, 5 strikeouts. I mean, he's getting you 5 strikeouts here, but he's also giving up runs. 5 to Boston, 4 to New York, 1 to Milwaukee, 3 to Philly. So he's giving up those runs. He is getting strikeouts, not getting a ton outside of against Washington. Now he's facing a White Sox team. I'm probably not taking either of these pitchers. I'd probably be looking at stacking both sides. So off the bat, Nico Horner, Suzuki, Cody Bellinger, who's having a resurgence year right before he gets traded, hopefully to the Yankees. And then Michael Kopech, his last start didn't go too hot. Or no, 2 starts ago didn't go too hot. His one against the Mets, 5.2 innings, 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts, had a really good game. Outside of that, I mean, it's got a bloated 4.29 ERA. Against Atlanta, he lasted 0.2 innings, gave up 4 earned runs, and had 4 walks. And before he even got out of the first, and they took him out before he got out. So I'm stacking the Cubs. If I'm looking at some bats for the White Sox against Hendricks, I'm probably looking at Luis Robert Jr. I'm probably looking at Eloy as well. Next game, Reds at the Brewers. Andrew Abbott versus Corbin Burns. I still can't figure out why Abbott is more expensive than Corbin Burns here. Abbott he's faced him 3 times. Yeah, 3 times this year. Faced him twice here. 1 in Milwaukee, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 3 strikeouts. Or that was in Cincinnati. 1 at Milwaukee on July 7th. 4.1 innings, 6 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. Now this is back in Milwaukee. I'm probably taking Milwaukee. I'm probably taking, depending on who's out there, William Contreras, Christian Yelich, Willy Adames, and depends on else. That's kind of the 3 I'm looking at. Flip side to that, Corbin Burns, same thing. He's faced Cincinnati 3 times this year. 1 at Cincinnati here. Really good game. 6 innings, 13 strikeouts. 1 at home, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. Love this here. At home, he is worse at home, though, but I'm going to take my chances at Corbin Burns. I don't know if I'm going to trust him in cash, but I will definitely take him in tournaments, and I'm not going to have any exposure to Andrew Abbott. Pirates at the Padres, Rich Hill versus Blake Snell. I'm not touching Rich Hill. I don't trust him. I would rather stack the Padres here against Rich Hill. If I'm stacking the Padres, I'm looking at their righty bats, so I'm looking at Machado, Tatis, Gary Sanchez if he gets the start. Who else am I thinking of? Ha-Seong Kim. Don't mind him. I just unlocked him in the show the other day, like a 98 version of him. And then against Blake Snell, absolutely love Blake Snell. In 52 plate appearances, 116 batting average. Love him. That's why he's the picture of the video and the article. So I do have a lot of people asking, hey, could you tell me who you like, what pitchers you like on the slate and stuff like that? If you check the article out in the description of this video, that gives you a handful of pitchers that we like, along with a handful of bats that we like at each position, and stacks at the bottom as well. So definitely give that article a look. Any little bit helps. Views on the articles, sharing the articles, watching the ads or clicking on the ads here on YouTube helps me out a ton. People have donated in the past. Our Cash App is down below if you want to donate a different way. I've been thinking about maybe streaming on Twitch a little bit. If you guys got Amazon Prime and you haven't used it as a subscription, subscribing to my Twitch, which I haven't been on in a long time, that would help as well. But a lot of people have been subbing to the website as well. FTA Plus, the year pass right now, $100 off. Use the promo code FTA or use the promo code NFL VIP. Trying to get enough subscriptions there to be able to buy a better computer. The way the computer's going, I don't know why the sound didn't go at all. It's very, very slow right now. It's why I can't even have a video I can't even have my camera on for you guys to watch or have something to look at, for the fact of it's so slow, it lags, and those kind of videos are super annoying with the video, camera. So I didn't even want to put you guys through that. So, like I said, love Blake Snell. Looking at Snellzilla here, 10,000, I'm taking him. Splits, he's faced Pittsburgh one time this year. 6 innings, 10 strikeouts. I would not be surprised if it's another game kind of like that, because this is a pitcher's park at Petco. Looking at this, he's a little bit worse on the road, but I mean, he's still got a great ERA on the road and at home. He's worse at home, I should say. I still like that. 16 earned runs in both games, just about the same strikeout. So it doesn't matter if he's home or away. I love me some Blake Snell today. And then, I would stack the Padres. Cardinals at the Diamondbacks. Steven Matz versus to be announced. Would not look at Steven Matz at all. I'm stacking against him. Ketel Marte, Perdomo, Corbin Carroll. If Evan Longoria is in there, I don't mind him. Christian Walker, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. A lot to like about this. There's a reason he's way down here. Steven Matz, 1-7 record, 4.67 ERA. Did have a good game against the Cubs. 5 innings with 6 Ks. But looking at splits, away games, 5.49 ERA. So he is away, giving up less Ks, less walks, less home runs away. But this is Coors Field Jr. This is Great American Small Park the second. This is Arizona. This is Chase Field. The ball flies out of there. Looking at that, seeing who Arizona might be pitching is Merrill Kelly off the IL. If he's not on a pitch restriction, I kind of like him for a tournament option. But the fact that he's coming back off the IL, hasn't pitched in 1 month as of yesterday, and he's still 9,000, that's wild to me. Probably would use him in tournament, but might avoid him just because of his price and coming off the IL. And then looking at possibly, if you're not using him, Arenado, Goldie back at home, where his former team. Brendan Donovan, maybe Lars Nootbaar would be where I'd be looking at. So I will have a little bit of exposure to Merrill Kelly in tournaments, but again, he's so expensive and coming off the IL, it's really hard to trust him. But I'm all in on an Arizona stack as my number one stack today. Athletics at the Giants is next. Ken Waldichuk versus to be announced. Again, if you've been here before, you've seen our videos, you know that San Francisco, this is going to be their MO all year. They're going to be announcing their pitchers pretty much all year because they don't even know who they're going to be pitching. But we will see if DraftKings does. And then Ken Waldichuk, I don't trust him. I would rather stack the Giants here. Lamont Wade Jr., Peterson, Conforto, Wilmer Flores, all against Waldichuk. Now, Waldichuk is down here at the bottom at 5,200. Hasn't faced San Francisco this year. Away games, though, double ERA, 8.56, almost double. Not as many Ks. More walks, more home runs, more earned runs, more hits allowed, and more innings pitched, but only two more innings pitched. So he's just getting lit up by every team. Game log wise, yeah, Boston put up 4 on him, 3 earned runs. Minnesota, Boston again with 1, Detroit 1, but he's not getting the strikeouts enough. He's not getting deep into games here. Hasn't gone 5 innings since May 19th. So not looking at him, definitely looking at San Francisco as a stack there. And then San Francisco, who's pitching for San Francisco? Let's see. Did I miss it? Or is it not there? Earlier when I did, there it is. Alex Cobb, probable. Game log, San Francisco, or against Oakland, hasn't faced him, but he gets a good pitching matchup against Oakland. At home, he's got a minuscule 1.24 ERA. On the road, it's way worse. 7,600. I actually like Alex Cobb here. Game log, a terrible game, but that was in Cincinnati, Great American Small Park, against Pittsburgh. Had a pretty good game, 6 innings, 5 Ks, 1 earned run. Against Seattle, really good game, maybe his best game of the year. No, second best game of the year. Third best. He's putting up some big games, too, when he can. So, yeah, I honestly don't mind Alex Cobb at all. He's a ground ball pitcher, so if he doesn't get the strikeouts, he's not giving up a ton of runs, he's not giving up a ton of hits. I love me some Alex Cobb today at 7,600 at home. And then the final game, Chris Bassett versus Julio Urias. Bassett, 77 plate appearances, 246, 20.8 K percentage, and then Urias, 56 plate appearances, 229. Looking at Bassett on the road against a very tough LA team. Hasn't faced them this year, but his ERA on the road is 5.81. Not as many strikeouts, just 1 less walk. A ton of home runs on the road. I'm all in on stacking the Dodgers against him. I'm looking at Mookie Betts. I'm looking at Freddie Freeman, Max Muncy, JD Martinez, Chris Taylor. It really just depends on the lineup that comes out of there. But yeah, I don't want anything to do with Chris Bassett. Urias, on the other hand, where is he at? Third highest priced pitcher on this main slate. Looking at this, he hasn't faced Toronto this year. Home games, 2.15 ERA. Road is 7.89. A vastly huge difference on the road versus at home. And identical innings pitched, 37.2 on both. He's just really bad on the road, but when he's at home, he's fantastic. So I do not mind Urias at all to go along with a Dodgers stack. So hopefully this sound works on this video. If it did, you will see this video. If it didn't, I am not remaking it, and I'm taking the day off of making a third video on the same subject, and you will never know because I didn't post this video. But that is the breakdown. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Still trying to figure out ways to get NFL content out to you guys. Like, I thought there was a website called NFL Savant that's the same thing as this, but for NFL, but it doesn't seem to be working. So I am still looking for a website that can help break down kind of like this, but for NFL. Might be a little bit easier to do because I could break the video up into like quarterbacks, or games or whatever. I could do like either by position, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, defenses, or by games, but spread out throughout the week because obviously we have a week to do the video. So I am still trying to figure out how to do it. If you guys have any ideas or what you would be looking for in some kind of content like that, let me know. So Good luck on this slate, everyone. Let me know how you did yesterday. Make sure to get in on FTA Plus so you can get into the Discord. Let's bring home some bacon. Peace!